Step 4. Learn the stress. What is stress? Stress, as it relates to English, is emphasis. Correct use of stress adds melody and rhythm to our speaking. The melody is the rise and fall of the pitch of the voice. The rhythm is the variations in the speed and strength of the pronunciation of words or syllables. There are two types of stress in English. The first type is word stress, which occurs at the syllable level within a word. The second type is sentence stress, which occurs at the word level within a sentence. We will begin with word stress. What is word stress? Every multi-syllable word has one syllable that is stressed. With practice, you will notice the differences between the stressed syllable and the other syllables in a word because its pitch is different, usually higher. It is said more loudly. It is said longer, and the vowel sound is pronounced clearly. These adjustments for stress are subtle and fleeting because they must be. It wouldn't benefit our communication to dawdle over every accented syllable. Our speech generally moves along to keep the message understandable. As a result, word stress is difficult to detect when you're first introduced to it. However, the more you listen for it, the more you'll hear it. The biggest clue for the stressed syllable is the vowel sound. It will be clear. The vowel sounds in unstressed syllables are much less distinct. We'll learn more about that later. Why is stress important? In general, understanding word stress is important because it's a major factor in accurate pronunciation. Placing stress on the wrong syllable of one word in a sentence can make the word unintelligible. In turn, it can make the sentence unclear. A good illustration comes from a 2003 Mike Myers movie called View from the Top, in which he repeatedly said, "You put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable." In any case, you might ask, if syllable stress only affects pronunciation, what does it have to do with learning to read? Great question. How does stress affect your reading? Let's agree that it's critical to use correct syllable stress when you are speaking so others can understand. By the way, if you learn to speak English by listening to native English speakers, you should be fine. Those speakers have taught you your early speaking vocabulary, so you're already using those words with word stress in place. You probably didn't even notice. However, when you're reading, the only voice you hear is in your head. That's true. It's called subvocalization. It's the process of your brain comprehending written words by translating them into the sounds of speech. Call it your inner voice. It's assumed that we do it because we learn to read by reading aloud. Thus, when you encounter an unfamiliar word, you must be able to decode it, subdivide it, and apply the correct stress to be able to read and understand it. This may sound impossible, but it's not. Just like you, everyone who loves reading and learning had to learn word stress, and you can too. How do you know what to stress? The two best tools for learning syllable stress are listening and speaking. As you learn about stress, you'll begin to notice how it functions by listening to those around you speaking. You can also record yourself speaking naturally, and you'll find it there. The more you practice listening, the more you'll hear it. Your vocabulary is another factor in learning stress. If a word is already part of your speaking vocabulary, you already know how it's pronounced. You may never have seen it written, so it might not be immediately understood. However, when you decode it, breaking it into syllables, you're likely to know which syllable is stressed. Trial and error is useful too. When you're struggling with a new word, it helps to pronounce it a few times, moving the stress to a different syllable each time. Also, don't forget about context clues. There are also rules and patterns that we'll learn. What happens when a syllable isn't stressed? Stressed syllables are louder, longer, and more clear. The vowel sounds in stressed syllables get special attention when we speak them. Unstressed syllables are quieter, quicker, and less clear. The vowel sounds in unstressed syllables can range from less distinct to unrecognizable. In fact, we have a specific term and symbol for some unstressed syllables. It's called the schwa, and it's the most spoken sound in English. You'll learn it in step 4.1.